Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fast Guard News. I'm Dwight Gibson,
I'm Roderick Payne.
and today is a little bit of a touchy subject. We're going to talk about the ICE raids.
Let's talk about it.
So, I saw a video where they stormed a park in L.A. I didn't see them grab anybody, but they just
It was a tremendous show of force. It
rode
was
through
military
horses,
style.
military style, through a public park where apparently there was a kids summer camp. Why?
I don't think they really gave a real reason. Also, they didn't share the information with the mayor. They didn't share the information with any of the city council in LA or anything. They just popped up and had an organized raid from what they're saying on the news. Now, I'm pretty sure somebody knew that the raid was coming. That's a lot of people, a lot of horses, a lot of vehicles to be organized. So, you know, it may just wasn't shared with individuals from the city because maybe they feel like that these individuals are pre-warning people to be on the lookout. Like, I mean, just like in every other city in America, LA and California is filled with immigrants. I think the whole thing that's going on is they're trying to reverse what the last presidential elect did as far as having open borders when they were letting people walk up here by the thousand. And they're saying that all these people that came in is almost like Ghostbusters. So what they're doing is they're going after any and everybody, anybody that looks a certain way. It doesn't have to be confirmed. And part of the reason that they're receiving, I think, so much backlash behind it because it's like a violation of your rights, of your your amended rights, and you look at it and try to understand, like, can I be arrested with no due process and just throw me in the hole somewhere and they ain't got to tell my family, they don't have to give me a phone call, I'm just gone? Is that American?
Is that? I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for a second. So, if you're not an American citizen, do you have protection under the Constitution?
Well, I mean, in many ways you do, regardless of what the Constitution states, right? Remember, everybody that's here is an immigrant in some way, shape, or form. The flip side of it is if you're over here and say we go to war, the armed forces are going to protect everybody inside of the United States. So if you're here, you're being protected like you're an American. So I wouldn't see why, and the same thing, a lot of people earn their citizenship by going to war on behalf of America. A lot of people that weren't citizens died here, may have died saving somebody. So, like, what really makes you American? The paperwork, you have people to go through, and now they're coming back and saying that they can reverse things that happen. Like if you got your citizenship through being married or naturalized or whatever the case was, it can all be reversed. So, this started.
They can reverse it?
Yeah, they can reverse your citizenship.
What's the grounds of that?
I didn't look them up specifically, but I know it has something to do with background and about what you've been doing while you're here. But we learned the hard way because this was probably 2018, 2019, and this is when all this started. Homeland Security came to our office and paid us a visit, and they wanted to know about I-9s. They wanted to know if we run I-9s on everybody. And at that time, we were unsure about the 1099s, and it was a bunch of confusion. So anyway, they gave us a little time to get in order, and they issued us a fine. And all of that came off of a random, they just walked into our office because they said that security guard companies and hotels and restaurants are notorious for hiring undocumented aliens. I said, really? I mean, you have to get a license to be here. If you look at the criteria for most security guard licenses, it doesn't say that you need to be a citizen. You could have a green card. And so they're trying to look for people or individuals, especially like construction, temp work. This is why Home Depot was like the main place at first. When they did it in Florida, everybody left Florida, went up North Carolina, went all these places, and then now they're raiding all of these places. California, North Carolina, Texas, all were heavy concentrations of people that fled from South Florida to get out of here.
So most people know that a lot of immigrants or migrant workers work on farms. So if they're, I'm assuming they hit farms.
chasing people across acres of open land.
So what happens to the food production if you're chasing away all the farm workers?
Well, it definitely brings the jobs back to America, but one
There aren't too many Americans lining up to go pick corn.
no, but if the job need to be done, the show must go on, right? And then that show is just gonna cost a little bit extra. It's not gonna be the migrant prices that you've been getting. It's not gonna be slavery anymore to pick your cotton. Now you got to pay for it. Now that drives, profit margins. They'll figure out some way to keep it, but you have to look at all of these things. And so I think that's a great idea for America. Bring the jobs back. Bring manufacturing back. Stop all of the shipping from out of town. Let's make everything here. That's American. But like the ICE raids, just from the results they've been getting, now they've been kicking a lot of people out. I'm pretty sure numbers-wise, it's pretty efficient. But it's the style in which they kick people out, and then the accidents that have been made. They grab some people, get them up out of here, and it ended up being the wrong person.
So what happens if they grab someone, say me or you, and we're American citizens, we have identification? Do they say, I'm sorry, and cut you loose?
We don't know. I mean, based on constitutional rights and laws, yeah, they cut us loose. But based on, the outlook of things and how they've been going, they were stopping truckers and seeing if they could read proper English. Yeah. So, I mean, that's gray area. You don't know. And that's what everybody feels. Part of the qualms, if you listen to what's happening on the internet, part of the issues that people are having is saying that basically we're being set up to now get ready for this whole deal where you as an American citizen, if you have certain crimes on your record, you could be outed. And, you're innocent until proven guilty. But think how many people just getting out of jail after serving 30 years and they realize that it wasn't them. Think how many people that have been killed and they came back after the fact. DNA evidence didn't match.
How many people have been killed and came back?
No, I said that people came back after the fact and like we executed the wrong man. This person, yeah. If you coming back from the dead, that's if that's happening on the regular, we might need to switch our podcast to paranormal activity. No, the reality is like people have been executed and they come back and find out that this person didn't do off DNA evidence or whatever advances come in criminology. And you think about that. Think about there was just a guy down here, they'd say that DeSantis awarded him $1.7 million. He spent 34 years in jail. He went to jail. His daughter was 3. He gets out. She's 37. His whole life is ruined. And gave him $1 million. He gonna lose, maybe half of that with taxes and.
No, I'm pretty sure that's tax free.
Okay, say it's tax free. Did they give him $1 million and teach him what to do? He's a guy that just got out of jail. He's been in jail for 34 years. Does he know what to do with $1 million?
Maybe. Let's hope.
I mean, let's hope. But like somebody like that, you probably want to say because he's gonna spend money until his head turns around and then it's all over. And then you have no training. You have no job experience, you spent, and now you're old. So it's good, but, just like anything else, there's going to be kinks to work out. That shouldn't happen anymore with the advancements in technology and crime scene identification and fingerprints and everything else. It shouldn't be anybody that's mistakenly arrested. But here we are in 2025. You have individuals that are getting deported. They already on the plane and, they send Indian style of the jail. And
whenever there's humans involved, there's going to be error.
1,000%.
So this new facility that's been built that they call Alligator Alcatraz. What is that facility for exactly?
I think it's a holding facility, and I think they're gonna have several of them. They were saying that somebody just inked another $50 million or $50 billion something to come and build that in their state. But remember, we knew about one that was gonna be in North Carolina. I think they're hubs. They're hubs because you're right. And I think they've realized that the American public is right. You don't want to mix people that aren't criminals with criminals because essentially they're not criminals. You just need a hole in place till you get them back to where they live at. So you don't want to put children in around a bunch of monsters and stuff like that. So I think that these are holding facilities. I think that being where it's at And being that they're temporary tents with no AC, and
there's no air conditioning.
There's no air conditioning. I didn't see any air conditioning. They were the temporary tents. So you're talking about in almost the bayou, which is Everglades, mosquitoes. Forget the alligators and the snakes. Mosquitoes at night coming in. Like, it's gonna be rough. So I think those are temporary as temporary can get. What they're trying to do, I believe, is show that if you're here illegally, undocumented, the time has already passed for you to haul ass and get out of here. Now,
so if you're here illegally and you want to leave, how can you leave?
I'm sure they'll probably just let you leave if you're doing it voluntarily. But if they got to come get you,
if you got to go buy a plane ticket,
I think they might come rope you off.
To leave, because to leave the country, you got to have a passport.
Gotta have a passport.
And to have a passport, you got to be a citizen.
I don't know what chances they're giving people, but I do know this. I know they're making it real painful if you don't.
Are they giving people the option to turn themselves in to get?
I think at one point there was. I think that time has passed. So we catch you, it's like Pokemon now. We catch you, we're gonna put you in one of them Pokeballs. So you gotta, yeah. I think that facility, from a security standpoint, I heard guards are getting paid real good out there. The security has to be tight. I think they said 5,000 to 8,000 people can fit out there. It's a bunch of beds. Security got to be tight. From what I've seen from the newscasts is that FHP was covering the door and Fish and Wildlife was covering some other key locations. But
Fish and Wildlife?
Yeah, law enforcement, Fish and Wildlife. So like the game warden, basically, they're law enforcement, so they're covering off-duty details. So it is going to be well funded. I forgot how much they spent out there. I think it was close to almost $1 billion, 400 something million. But
and no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. Maybe the supervisor's trailer may have air conditioning, but for the most part, I seen a bunch of gates, and I seen the tents, and I seen gates with beds. So think about over time sleeping out there, the people out there in that heat sweating. It's gonna get worse before it get better.
That's tough.
Yeah, man. So it's the raids, it's everything that comes along with ICE. So what do you do from a security standpoint when these things are happening? Because you have to understand that part of the reason that LA is kind of like ground zero for that type of activity is because people started rioting. They said, no, you're not just going to come through and march and get us under control. And they showing force that, you guys want to riot? You guys want to attack law enforcement? Send the National Guard down and send the Marines down. Then put law enforcement doing stuff what they're doing now. So this is all a reaction to all that rioting that was going on out there maybe 30 days ago.
So are they taking any and all undocumented individuals from all nationalities, or are they targeting specific
any and everywhere? Mainly South America, but any and everywhere. They say Haiti, they say African. If you're there and you're undocumented, you're out. You don't have your citizenship. You did whatever you did to get into the country, you're out. If you're here illegally, we catch you, you're out. They're raiding houses. They're doing, it's like prohibition, kind of. Instead of alcohol, it's people, it's personnel doing certain jobs, because those jobs essentially, take jobs from Americans, according to the paperwork.
So, can you stop an ICE representative from coming into your place of business?
No, you can't stop them from coming in your home. Federal law enforcement, exigent circumstances. Hey, we can come in your house unwarranted because we have reason to believe that you're hiding undocumented aliens in your home. So we're coming in without a search. We'll kick the door down. And if you resist,
Sounds like a violation of rights.
Yeah. We got the right to use force. And so, it's quite a bit that goes into that. So you have to remember, just got to pay attention to what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. Some stuff can be stopped. Some stuff probably won't be stopped. It's a campaign. The president means essentially what he says. If he says it, then he's going to act on it and try to make sure that it follows all the way through. And so far, he's doing that. Yeah. He's doing that to a T.
Well, so no one can hire a security guard to stop ICE from
I think you get superseded in that one. I think that you might even get beaten in a security uniform. I mean, it's sad, but I think that's the level and the aggression that it comes with. But with that being said, many of the things that come along with what's going on and people being nervous is crime goes up. People do more nervous type things. Maybe they are trying to finance their way out of the country. Maybe they feel like they're just going to knock off a couple of gas stations. You know, you never know. They got somebody going to fly them out cash. Who knows what people are thinking about? But I do know that looting happens definitely. And I do know that when people are starving and they can't eat, but they're here, they're going to find a way to eat, and that could cause crime, you know, especially if they're legal. They can't legally go and get a job, so they now got to figure it out, you know, kind of on the fly. So
and they'll always go for the lowest hanging fruit.
1,000%. Your yard being open, you know, we'll take it. Anything we can do.
All right, guys, that wraps us up for today. You can reach us online at www.fastguardservice.com or by phone at 844-254-8273. We hope to hear from you. Thank you, guys, and have a great day.
Have a nice one.